If you've ever looked at your garden and thought, what if I just stopped trying so hard? You're not alone. And surprisingly, that exact mindset is at the heart of one of the most powerful, natural, and wildly effective gardening methods out there: chaos gardening. Welcome back to the Soil Science Garden, where we don't just grow plants. We understand the soil, the systems, and the science behind what actually works. Today, we're diving into a method that feels almost too simple to be true. No rigid rows, no obsessive planning, no perfection. Just seeds, soil, and a bit of controlled chaos. And yes, it works. Let's clear something up right away. Chaos gardening isn't about neglect or laziness in the way most people think. It's not abandoning your garden and hoping for the best. It's about working with nature instead of trying to control every inch of it. At its core, chaos gardening involves mixing a variety of seeds together and scattering them across your growing space, letting natural selection, microclimates, and soil biology decide what thrives. Instead of spacing seeds perfectly, labeling rows, and micromanaging growth, you allow plants to compete, collaborate, and adapt. And that's where the magic happens. Because in nature, plants don't grow in neat lines. They grow in communities. They support each other, shade each other, share nutrients through the soil, and create resilient ecosystems. Chaos gardening taps directly into that. Here at the Soil Science Garden, we always go deeper than trends. So let's talk about why this method isn't just a viral idea. It's grounded in real ecological principles. First, natural selection creates stronger plants. When you scatter seeds randomly, you're not guaranteeing every plant a perfect spot. Some will struggle, some will fail. But the ones that survive? They're perfectly adapted to your soil, your climate, and your conditions. Over time, this leads to a garden that becomes increasingly resilient without you having to intervene constantly. Dense planting protects the soil. You know, bare soil is one of the biggest enemies of a healthy garden. It dries out quickly, erodes easily, and loses microbial life. Chaos gardening naturally creates dense ground cover, which reduces evaporation, prevents weeds from taking over, and protects soil microbes from the harsh sun. The result is a living mulch system created by your own plants. Plant diversity really boosts soil health. When you grow a mix of plants together, flowers, herbs, vegetables, you're feeding the soil in different ways. Each plant releases unique compounds through its roots, attracting different microbes and fungi. This diversity creates a rich underground ecosystem that improves nutrient cycling. In simpler terms, the more diverse you're planting, the more alive your soil becomes. Built-in pest control is another big benefit. Monoculture, which is planting one crop in neat rows, is basically an open invitation for pests. It's kind of like laying out a buffet. Chaos gardening disrupts that pattern. With mixed plants, pests struggle to find their preferred host. Beneficial insects are attracted by flowers and herbs, and stronger plants resist damage better. You end up needing fewer chemicals, or none at all. Now let's get practical. If you're ready to try this in your own space, here's exactly how to do it. Step 1. Choose your seeds wisely. This is where most people go wrong. They think chaos means throwing anything together. Not quite. You want a balanced mix of fast growers, like lettuce and radishes, medium growers like beans and herbs, slow growers like tomatoes and peppers, flowers for pollinators and pest control, and soil builders like legumes. Think of it as building a mini ecosystem, not just planting randomly. Step 2. Mix your seeds. Take your selected seeds and mix them in a container. To make distribution easier, you can add sand, compost, or dry soil. This helps spread seeds more evenly when scattering. Don't overthink ratios. This method thrives on imperfection. Step 3. Prepare the soil, but just lightly. Here's the beauty of it. You don't need to till deeply or create perfect beds. Just loosen the top layer slightly, remove large weeds, and add compost if your soil is poor. That's it. No heavy digging required. Step 4. Scatter and let go. Now comes the fun part. Scatter your seed mix across your garden space. Don't worry about spacing. Don't worry about symmetry. Just spread them and trust the process. Lightly cover with a thin layer of soil or compost, then water gently. Step 5. Observe, don't control. This is the hardest part for most gardeners. Once things start growing, your instinct will be to thin aggressively, rearrange plants, or fix the chaos. Resist that urge. Instead, observe which plants thrive, which struggle, where moisture collects, and where shade forms. You're learning from your garden, not forcing it into a plan. What you can expect here are real results, not myths. Let's be honest. This method isn't perfect, but, it's powerful in the right context. Here's what you'll likely experience. First off, a messy start. At first it might look, chaotic, as expected. Plants growing on top of each other, uneven heights, unpredictable patterns. But just give it time. Now, surprising productivity. You may find that you harvest more than you expected, especially from things like leafy greens, herbs, and companion crops. Some plants will actually outperform your traditional garden beds. Over time, there's lower maintenance. Once established, chaos gardens often require less watering, thanks to soil coverage, less weeding, and less pest control. It sort of becomes a semi-self-regulating system. And remember, continuous learning. No two chaos gardens are the same. Each season teaches you something new about your soil, your climate, and how your plants interact. And honestly, that knowledge is far more valuable than any rigid planting guide. Even though this is a so-called lazy method, there are still some pitfalls to watch out for. One common mistake is using only one type of plant. If you throw only vegetable seeds, you're missing out on the ecosystem effect. Always include flowers and herbs. Another thing folks often overlook is plant size. Mixing massive plants like pumpkins with delicate ones can lead to overcrowding, so be mindful of scale, even in chaos. Overwatering is another big one. Dense planting retains moisture longer, and too much watering can lead to fungal issues. Let the soil guide you, and giving up too early is a trap many fall into. The early stage can look unproductive or messy, and many gardeners quit before the system balances itself. Patience is key. This method isn't just for one type of gardener. It's surprisingly versatile. If you're a beginner, it removes the pressure of doing everything right. You learn by observing rather than memorizing rules. If you're experienced, it challenges your understanding of plant systems and opens the door to more natural, regenerative practices. If you're busy, it saves time. And if you're curious about soil health, it's honestly one of the best real-world experiments you can run. Once you get comfortable with chaos gardening, you can refine your approach without losing the spirit of it. You might start adjusting seed mixes based on past results, introducing native plants for better adaptation, observing microclimates in your garden, or saving seeds from the strongest plants. Over time, your chaos garden becomes uniquely yours, a living system shaped by your environment and your decisions. There's something deeper happening here, beyond just growing food. Chaos gardening shifts your role from controller to collaborator. Instead of asking, "How do I make this plant grow?" you start asking, "What does this environment naturally support?" And honestly, that's a powerful mindset, not just in gardening, but in how we interact with the natural world. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by gardening rules, expensive inputs, or constant maintenance, chaos gardening might be exactly what you need. It's simple, it's effective, and most importantly, it reconnects you with the natural rhythms that make gardening so rewarding in the first place. You don't need perfect rows. You don't need perfect timing. You don't even need perfect knowledge. You just need seeds, soil, and the willingness to let go. Just a little. Before you go, if this opened your eyes to a new way of gardening, Imagine what else you could learn by digging deeper into the science behind it. Make sure you subscribe to the Soil Science Garden for more practical, no-nonsense gardening insights that actually work. And if you found this helpful, share it with another gardener who's tired of overcomplicating things. Let's grow smarter, not harder.